Hi ladies, my name's Robert, and I decided to do this because, for two reasons. The description you're able to give on a profile on a dating site, in my opinion, isn't adequate. You can say quite a bit about yourself and give a person, I guess, a snapshot of who you are and how you are. And actually, some dating site tips say when it comes to your description, keep it to under 2 paragraphs. I don't know what you're going to say in 2 paragraphs, but anyway, so I decided to just augment that profile by making a video profile. And the second reason is I get a lot. You guys probably do too. When people ask you, tell me more about yourself. Okay, so I will, and I'll get started. First off, my profile will let you know that first off, I'm a genuine person. I'm not a scammer, a stalker. I won't be asking you for anything, including personal information, phone number. I don't approach meeting someone or getting to know someone that way. And I won't share any of mine either until we've messaged for maybe at least a few messages, and so we can feel comfortable enough to be sharing personal information, because these dating sites are really loaded with scammers, and I mean lots of them, and I'll report them always. Even if I suspect that they're a scammer, I'll go ahead and report it. But so I'm genuine. I'm an honest guy. I'm very straightforward. Sometimes a little bit too much. I've been told, but I believe it's important for a person to say exactly what they are trying to say, so that the other person will know where they're coming from, and they'll be able to respond right, whether it's giving advice or whatever. They'll be able to respond right to your being honest and direct. But also, I'm a Christian, and that's very important to me. It's not necessary that someone I get with be a Christian, but I will not tolerate any kind of attack, I guess is the word, or putting down or whatever the Christian faith or God or any of that. I won't tolerate it. I don't tolerate it from other Christians, because it's a brotherhood, a sisterhood in Christians, and Jesus also tells us to love one another like we love ourselves. So I'm sharing that with you because it's very important. Also, my sense of humor. I already covered my sense of humor. I I'm retired. I'm a veteran also. I'm retired, and so I've developed a couple of hobbies. I've always been a songwriter, poet, and I write short stories. I have a couple of books planned. But I decided I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I just got on the internet about a year ago when I got a smartphone, so it's all relatively new to me, and it's very exciting. You have to be careful, of course. Never go on the dark web. But Google's your safest search engine. But so I decided, watching these YouTube videos, I said, you know what, I could do that. So about a month ago, I decided to become a YouTuber, and now I have right at 80 videos posted on 4 different channels on a variety of topics, and I have to date my book there. I have 456 ideas. They've either just been titled and described. Some are in various stages of production. So, but like I said, I operate on a tight budget. I survive off of a military pension. Thankfully, it's a lifetime pension. I also have lifetime medical, but it's not a lot. My rent takes half of it. But I hope to generate some income with the YouTube videos, because you do eventually get paid if you get enough views and subscribers. But it's also very fun, and some of the topics I address are serious, some aren't. I'll give an example about abortion and how I feel about that, which obviously I feel it's wrong. And I do silly, humorous ones. Like where I live here, it's a small room. I live by myself, so it's all I need. Easy to take care of, and it's pretty hot here in Texas, in Central Texas, and so the room's easy to air condition. But I don't have a kitchen, and I've made myself a little area to cook and prepare food. But doing dishes, I don't have a sink except a bathroom sink, and I was doing them there, but the thing clogs up real fast. So I'll stack the dishes in the shower, and when I shower, the soap and shampoo flows over them. It at least loosens whatever food's left on them, and kind of cleans them up. When it's time to do them, they're really easy to do. So I made a video about that. It was a real short one, and I started right here where I'm sitting, and I walked over to the bathroom and I showed the dishes. But the title of the video is doing dishes for practically zilch. So anyway, I cover a lot of stuff: gun control, school shootings, video making ideas, how to deal with grief, because I've had to do that due to some recent deaths in the family, including suicide. But I wanted to share, how I do that, because like the VA healthcare system has devoted a lot of manpower and money to their mental health, because so many veterans are coming back from the Middle East with PTSD, and they need help. So I was diagnosed as being major depressive in 2002. And the reason for that was I'm another thing about me. I'm a pretty happy person. I'm upbeat. I'm optimistic. I figure that there's a way out of anything, and there's a way to achieve your goals. And it just takes careful planning and persistence. And you'll get there. So I share that enthusiasm with people, or I try to. And I've made some personal videos for my family, and to the dating site again. I've I'm on four dating sites. One of them I am going to get off of, Our Time. I don't recommend it. A lot of nice, matter of fact, the nicest ladies I've met. It's marketed to 50 plus folks, which I'm 61. But and I've really met a lot of nice ladies on there. But right off the bat, I had trouble with the features, operating the features. I couldn't, like when they have suggested matches, and there'll be little choices below them, yes, no, maybe. It wouldn't work. It won't work. I could swipe through them, but I couldn't select, and other things went on. So, and then I couldn't even log in. I had great conversation going with two ladies, and I couldn't even log in. So. But I'm on the Mingle 2, connecting singles, and Plenty of Fish, and they're okay. But like I say, a lot of scammers, which I love giving a hard time. That's another thing about me. I am very pro fighting evil in all its manifestations, and I don't care what it is. It is a duty of Christians not only to avoid all appearance of evil, but to take a stand against evil, because we are children of God, and we have an enemy that the Bible says goes to and fro in the earth, seeking whom he may devour. And we not only need to stand up in the name of Jesus against this evil, and we also need to support and encourage our fellow Christians and our fellow men and women. So I attack these scammers. I don't do any physical harm to them. I can't, but I just annoy them, waste their time, tease them, anger them. So, but my goal is to get them removed from the dating site, because along with toying with them a little bit, I also report them. But just along that line there, about going fighting evil. I live in a relatively, it's a low-income neighborhood here in Temple, Texas. So, and it has a soup kitchen. So a lot of street people and homeless people and people just need food come, and they're not all bad people, but some of them are very bad. And so I go out onto the courtyard here every morning to have coffee with my neighbors. We gather out there and talk. And one of the ladies, she's older than me, very frail. She's in chemotherapy. She went to the store after dark. I don't know why she did that, but anyway, she was walking home and someone stopped and offered her a ride. She said she'd seen him around before, so she trusted him. But they get her here. Our parking lot's in the back, and when they pull in, the girl, it was a girl and a black gentleman, but the girl jumped out, jerked her out of the car, stole her purse, all her things, $300. And as she was telling me that, she was really visibly upset, and the tears started to come a little bit. And I am very slow to anger. Another thing about me, I really refuse to get mad because that's really not a good option most of the time. Even though it doesn't go against my Christian faith, because the Bible says, "Be ye angry and sin not, and let not the sun go down on your wrath." So I decided right then and there that I'm going to get some self-protection for me, and if I ever see anyone that's coming under some sort of attack or being harassed, especially a woman, elderly woman, young woman, children, disabled, someone who really can't defend themselves, I'm going to intervene, no question. But I got some mace. I recommend it. And this little guy, I'm not going to fire it. I was firing it in some video. This is a stun gun. And boy, I'll just give it a little burst. I have a video called Shocker, Bzzz, where I demonstrate this thing, but I'll just give it a little burst. I usually hit the flashlight. It has a flashlight too, but let's see if I hit the right one. Oh, yes. Okay, here it is, guys. Ready? There's a video I watched where law enforcement cadets were being tested with these sprays and stun guns just so they know how it affects people. But anyway, that's another part of my life now that I'm retired, that I do that. And also play. I'm not going to show anything in my room or anything. Sometimes I do, but I'm just not going to do that this time. Partly because it's messy. I had a big crash. A little studio that I built kind of crashed. And but anyway, I have two guitars, and I'm relearning guitar, and I'm relearning pretty fast. I used to be in two different bands when I was late teens, early 20s. Okay, what else? My family. Both parents are gone. Mother in 2008. My father just this past October 7th. Committed suicide. My mother died of cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. My youngest sister died in 2006 from total organ failure, septicemia they call it. And then, so I have one brother left, older brother, and a younger brother, and a sister. I was the second born of 5. I was born in West Virginia. I love my home state. But when I joined the military, I started traveling, and when I got out of the military, I was invited by some friends I had made, because I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. They lived in Charlotte. They said, come to Charlotte, man, and you can stay with us for a while until you get some plans together and decide what you're going to do. So I stayed in Charlotte for a couple years, enrolled in college, which also my education, I have a bachelor's in, oddly enough, cultural anthropology. with a minor in music theory. But that was also achieved at Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. But I have traveled abroad and in the U.S. in 1979, 1980, right after I graduated college. Was having a little bit of difficulty getting employed in the anthropology field, because I don't know why. I guess there really aren't a lot of jobs in that field. So I decided to just take off and travel the country, and I did it hopping freights. So I had a lot of tremendous experiences there. All right, what else? I don't have a script or notes or anything, guys, and I apologize if I don't um, say what you want me to, what you want to hear about me. But what else? I love to talk. We're up to 15 minutes, so I'm going to cut this off here in a second. I love to talk. I love coffee. I'm willing to talk about anything. I mean, I'm non-judgmental for the most part. I do have difficulties with a few things, and I will make my point, but I'll listen to yours, and like I said, I won't judge, because one of the great freedoms we have in this country is that we have the right to free speech and the right to choose to believe whatever we want, and so I don't infringe on those rights with anybody, and I've learned to become a very good listener, very interested. Very interesting things people have to tell about their life's experiences and things. And I think I mentioned earlier, I love to joke around. And I love to laugh. Laughter is like medicine to me. It just really soothes me and relaxes me. And there are some things that just make me laugh hysterically. And again, they run the gamut, like G-rated stuff, and I like the most offensive things you can imagine. I'm not going to share any of them with you, but I just think they're funny. Comedians like Sarah Silverman, George Carlin, and Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy are some of the edgier comedians. My favorite comedian is Stephen Wright. If you don't know him, check him out. He's basically a one-liner comedian, and all his one-liners are good. I'll just share one of them with you. He says that one time he was making instant coffee, and so he put it in his mug, mixed it up, and put it in the microwave to heat up. And when he hit the switch, he went back in time. And he says he's not allergic to heights; he's allergic to widths. Anyway, a bunch of he's just entertaining. It's not deep belly laughs, but it's just funny. And I love doing research. I love the internet, and I've learned also to be very cautious and careful about what sources you use, because I've already identified some on the internet that they are just full of it. They appear legit, and same with some YouTubers. There's one person has a top 5 things, and all ghosts and weird events and all kinds of stuff. And I watch his videos. They're real lame. They're obviously photoshopped, and so you have to be careful with the sources you make. All right, one last thing. I investigate everyone that contacts me, and I don't do that to intrude. And I don't go beyond certain things, like, for example, if they give me a phone number, I'll just Google the area code, which is free, to see if it matches where they say they're from. One way to detect a fraud scammer profile. Also, if they provide their email, I'll do a reverse email on them and see if things match up. Or if they share little details, like where they went to college, church. I might ask them like what they studied. One girl who was trying to scam me, or I don't even know if it was a girl, everything about her checked out. Her area code, she lived in Dallas, matched. Everything checked out. And but one thing, she said she was graduating from West Coast University in Dallas, Texas. I had never heard of it, so I Googled it. It was there, and very prestigious, very costly tuition. Fewer than 11%, according to the site, are accepted. And wow, but she said she was in the pharmacy program. So I called them. I called West Coast, and I said, I'm interested in your pharmacy program, your college. Could you tell me a little bit about it? She said, sir, we don't have a pharmacy program. So, but anyway, I didn't tell her that because her story was she's graduating, because this was just not too long ago. So it's about the time to graduate. but she said she was headed to Rotterdam in the Netherlands to complete her training. So I investigated the Netherlands and pharmacy programs, and there's three there, only three, and way expensive. So anyway, she sends me a text saying she's in Rotterdam. She's in a room with about 7 other girls, and they want to get their own place. And da 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 da. Anyway, could you send me $680? All right, guys. If I didn't share what you'd like me to, I'll probably make a follow-up video, but really rather not. I think this is probably enough. And of course, if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, just ask, and I'll be happy to answer. And just a little advice, I may have already given it. Don't share any personal information with anybody, man. Don't do it. And investigate it, because you're not intruding, you're not offending. You know, you're doing what most people would do. Traditionally, a lot of relationships started with someone we knew, and so the investigation kind of was already done, and you know, we knew they were real, and kind of, knew a little about them maybe, and because they were introduced to us through friends, family, and stuff. But nowadays, with the emergence of the internet and online dating, these are strangers. These are total strangers, and if they start asking you for personal information, don't give it. Just don't give it. So. All right, ladies, thank you again for tuning in, and I hope you all have a blessed day, blessed week, blessed year, blessed life. And if you are still interested in me after watching this, just contact me. Oh, one more thing. Currently, I am not talking to anyone. I have numerous messages waiting to be answered, but they're just real short. Hello there, hi cutie, hi handsome. Your profile photo really caught my eye. And just they're default messages, because they're the same over and over. A lot of ladies use them on one of the sites anyway. So okay, be cautious and be safe, and I will hopefully talk to you in the future. All right, guys, bye.